Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel, and we are here for the video pens for October 2021. This month, this video is coming quite late when I compare it with how it usually is, but I had no time to do it earlier, so let's do it now, and I'll try to keep it simple this time. Let's see what I can do. So today I have 28 pens to show you, so quite a lot. Let's start. And we will start with Germany and with a Lamy Dialog 3. This is a retractable pen. You twist it like this and the nib comes out. And it is quite big, made by Lamy, gold nib. And this is a loan from Appleboom. Let me just fold this correctly and let's start. So, this is the pen number one for today, Lamy Dialog 3. This ink is an old ink and I've not been using this pen a lot. It dries a little bit when closed, so the ink is a little thick and sometimes it doesn't flow that well. So matte black with a medium gold nib, and this is maybe one of the smoothest nibs I ever used, and it has inside the Montblanc Racing Green, which is an ink that is discontinued for quite a long time now, and it is a muddy and very dark green. As you can see, it looks almost black. So very nice pen with a beautiful gold two-tone nib by Lamy. It twists back like this and it will be put away. This pen is not yet reviewed. It will be soon, and I will make some comparisons with other retractable nib fountain pens, or with other fountain pens with retractable nib. The next pen I've been using, and I've been using for a while since I got it, is this Rotring 600. It is that pen that I bought that had that crack that sometimes happens on the barrel. I hope you can see it there. It was fixed, and so I got it with a big discount. It has a steel nib. It is also available as a gold nib, but I got the steel nib, so it was quite cheap, and it is an interesting pen. So this is the Rotring 600 black with a medium steel nib, which is a little finer than the medium of the Lamy, and the ink is also, no, it's not the Montblanc, sorry, it is the Visconti red. This pen has no kind of line variation, the ink flow is quite good, and the color is as you see. So very nice pen. It is a pen that I wanted to have for a long time, and I was happy to find one, even if it isn't in perfect shape. Now, let me put them this side. The next pen is also a metal pen, also from Germany. I ordered them by brand, not by country, but I'm seeing that they are a little bit organized by country, but it was not on purpose. The next pen is this beautiful pen. It takes a lot of patina. It is a Kaweco special made of brass. It is a pen that I have to review also. It has a fine, please focus, fine steel nib, and it is a cartridge pen, cartridge converter pen, as the other two are. So this is the Kaweco special in brass with a fine nib, and this is really a fine compared with that one, and inside it has Pelican, not M, sorry, 4001 Brilliant Red. It is a nice ink, not a very strong saturated red. It looks a little pinkish on camera. When I'm looking at it, it looks a little bit more orangey. This pen is interesting because it feels almost like a pencil in the hand. Now, the next pen is a very slim pen, also by Kaweco, and this is a Kaweco Liliput. And this is one of the pens I really like. Lots of patina also. It is copper, and this one has a fine steel nib. So this is the Kaweco Liliput with in copper with a fine steel nib, and inside it has some ink mix. This pen finally got back into more regular use because I returned to working at the office, and so this is back with me again on my backpack. So I have it. It has a cartridge and it seals really well. So, but maybe when I end this ink mix that is inside, maybe it's time to flush the pen because ink mixes sometimes are strange with their flow. It really looks like a kind of black. The next pen is another Kaweco. This is from the newer edition. This is a Kaweco Student. Plastic pen with a metal section, and then it has a steel nib. This is a medium. And this is the Kaweco Student. They have names of music styles. So this is the 20s jazz, and the nib is a medium steel nib, and the ink is Kaweco Caramel Brown, which is a lovely brown that I like a lot. I like brown inks. So this is the pen, ivory colored barrel and this brown cap. The next pen is also Kaweco Student. It is the other that was released recently, and this one has kind of a raspberry colored cap. Very similar pen in every detail, but this is the Kaweco Student 30s Blues, and this one has a broad gold nib, and let me show it to you. It comes with a steel nib, gold-plated steel nib, but I changed it with a gold nib, broad, and inside it has Pilot Hiroshizuku, and I think it's running. No, it still has some ink, not full, but it has some ink. So Pilot Hiroshizuku Yamabudo. As you can see, a broad nib is too broad for me. It has some line variation, but I don't really have a nice writing experience with a broad nib. It's not, my handwriting is not suited for these nibs, or these nibs are not suited for my handwriting, as you prefer. Next pen. Sorry, lots of Kaweco this month. Next pen that I have to show you is another Kaweco. This is a grail pen for many. It is the Kaweco Art Sport Generation 2 Amber, and this is very, very hard to find. This pen is still inked, and it has the medium nib, the premium nib that I reviewed recently, and so I put in the premium nib. It didn't come with premium nib because this is an older edition and the premium nib is very recent. So this is the Kaweco Art Sport Amber with medium premium nib made of steel, and it has the also Kaweco Caramel Brown. This nib is really smooth, not strong in terms of line variation, but it is meant to have a very smooth writing experience, and that's why it is a premium nib. The next one is this beautiful thing, also a very rare Kaweco to find, Kaweco Art Sport Generation 1 Mambo. Beautiful. This one has a gold nib. It came with this gold nib when I got it, and this has an older style of nib that is not compatible with the newer pens. But this was a nib that I used for the comparison of the premium nibs with steel and gold nibs. You can find that video. Kaweco Art Sport Mambo, and this one has a medium gold nib. I've not been using this pen recently because, as I told you, I'm now working again on location, and I don't want to bring this pen with me because I have so many Kawecos that I don't want to take those rare and limited editions with me. And this one has also Kaweco Caramel Brown, and I'm saying that to just, you can see some line variation again on the gold nib. I'm saying these to justify a little bit some inconsistent ink flow, because I've not been using this pen. It has been sitting there with no use since I inked it to make that video comparing the premium nibs with the other ones, so my fault. The next pen, yes, another Kaweco Sport, and it is the Kaweco Brass Sport, also because of that nib comparison. It has a steel nib. We have here the Kaweco, not Art, sorry, Brass Sport with a medium nib, and the ink is Kaweco Palm Green, which is a quite nice green. You can clearly see, I'm not sure if you can, but I can clearly see that this doesn't have the same kind of line variation I can get with the gold nib. This pen is very solid, it has lots of patina, so it's very nice. I'm doing this a little faster because I don't want to make such a long video as usual, but it's not going to be short because my videos never are. The next pen is this, Kaweco Steel Sport, very similar with the Brass Sport, even in weight. And this one has also the Kaweco Premium Nib, also in medium. So, let's focus this again, and this is the Kaweco Steel Sport. Again, very smooth writing experience. I would say it's very comparable with the Lamy Dialog 3 that is up here. And you can see that this ink is getting so concentrated that it even shines a little bit. With Kaweco Palm Green also. So very smooth, but also not a lot of line variation. Quite wet, so these premium nibs are much smoother and much wetter. At least that is my opinion on them. And let's go for the final Kaweco and final German pen. No. we still have at least another German pen. But final Kaweco. This is the Kaweco Elite, which has some kind of a vintage style to it. Number 6 nib, not the small number 5. And this is the Kaweco Elite. It's written here. Kaweco Elite with a fine steel nib, and inside we have Waterman South Sea Blue. And you can try to find some line variation if you press a little harder, but it's not really, sorry, it was out of focus, it's not really a very springy nib, but it is fine because it's nice. It is more springy than the number 5 steel nib, and I think it's beautiful, and I love to see these big Kaweco nibs on this pen. But if you don't like to have your fingerprints all over a pen, this pen is not for you, because fingerprints all over the shiny cap. Now, I'm having some trouble focusing the background when I show you things that are closer. Now, we go from Germany, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 German pens in a row, and we'll go to Ireland, to the Gravitas. You already know this pen, Gravitas Skull. It makes sense because we are reaching the Halloween, and it makes some sense. So this is the Gravitas Steel Skull Edition. And I really enjoy this pen. Very heavy, solid, with number 6 Jowo nib. Very generic, it doesn't have the logo. But I think Gravitas now has some nibs with the logo, so I think I will need to get some to replace the nib on this pen and on the next one. This one has this is a medium nib, steel nib, and it has the Mont Blanc, very nice ink, William Shakespeare. It was a limited edition. When I'm out of this ink, there will be no more. So let's just spend it well. It is a very nice pen. Sometimes the cap catches a little bit, but then it goes smoothly. I'll need to review this pen also. So I have lots of reviews to record. The next pen is again a Gravitas. You can see the logo there, but it is a pocket pen, which is fun, and it's called Gravitas Pocket. It has this kind of greenish color. It has a kind of a facet on the cap, so it stays on place when you rest it on paper. You open it, post it, and you have a texturized section, and you have a number 6 Jowo nib, also with no branding on the nib. So this is the Gravitas Pocket. It is an aluminium pen with a steel section. Gravitas Pocket. The color is olive gray and with a medium nib. Very, very nice. This pen is really, really nice. The ink it has is Graf von Faber-Castell olive green, and not much line variation, but this ink has a beautiful color, beautiful shading. So I think this is it's not a perfect match, but I think it is a very nice ink and pen combination. And let's go for this pen, which is a pen that I don't know what it is. It is an unbranded pen that I got from Flea Market here in Lisbon. No branding at all, but it is an interesting pen. that I bought for 1 or 2 euros, I don't remember. So I call this unbranded grey pen from Flea Market. It has a nib that I don't know what it is. I would say medium maybe. It is a very smooth pen if you write in the right position, but it has some, how can I say, it has a sweet spot because the nib is not even tipped, it is just folded. If you go out of the correct orientation, it scratches the paper. So the Flea Market M, and the ink it has is, let me check because sometimes I get a little lost, Waterman South Sea Blue. This is much darker than that writing sample because I've not been using this pen a lot and it really dries on the pen. It dried a lot. I think more than half of it was dry, has dried instead of being written with. So this means that the ink is much more concentrated and it looks much darker. And so now we jump from an unknown place to United States, and another pen that gets lots of fingerprints on the cap, although it has some scratches. This was what he used. It is a very nice pen with this ripped barrel and a gold nib. So this is the Sheaffer Legacy 2 linear matte black, and I'm coming out of the alignment, I think. And this one has a medium nib, I think, and the ink inside is Sheaffer Script Turquoise, one of my favorite. This has some line variation and I'm not forcing it. It is an amazing pen. It is one of my favorite turquoise inks. The pen is beautiful. This kind of nib is beautiful too. So very nice pen that I got in used condition. The next pen is not mine, but I really want to buy it. So let's see what I can get. Is from my friend Luis, and it is a Sheaffer No Nonsense in yellow, and I love yellow pens. So this is Sheaffer. This really has some feedback, almost a little scratchy. Sheaffer No Nonsense. By the way, this is a gold nib and I'm using it. You can use it as a touchdown filler or cartridge converter pen, and I'm using it as a touchdown filler. That one, that unbraided one, was piston filler. You can see the piston knob. All the other ones were cartridge. This is a cartridge pen, also Sheaffer No Nonsense in yellow. This one has, I think you can see, medium steel nib. And the ink is a lovely diamine Macassar. Beautiful, beautiful ink, beautiful colored pen. I need to see how much Luis will want for this pen. Maybe I will be able to get it. Now we'll go from United States to Japan to another pen that is a fingerprint magnet, as people like to call it. It has lots of micro scratches already. It is a silver pen, it is a pilot pen, and it has a fish there on the barrel. Very beautiful one. A very expensive pen also. So this one is the pilot Silvern, and it is called Carp, or you can call it Koi if you prefer. It is a sterling silver pen with a big gold nib medium, beautiful, very nice to use, medium gold nib. And the ink it has is Kyo no Oto Oshiguriro, and I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, and it is a number 10. And this is the kind of line variation that you can have, and you can really have it. And this ink is maybe a little bit too wet because it tends to bleed through a little bit in every paper, not in the Rhodia, but it tends to do that. I didn't make that kind of test in micro swatch. The difference in smoothness between this pen and this one is something crazy. This is so much smooth, but I think a pen in this price point from Japan should be really smooth. Now we go to a brand that I like a lot, and we go to the United States again, and this is a Parker Duofold, a Parker Maxima Duofold, the British. So sorry, not United States. This one is from England. Sorry about that. This was from the English Parker, and this is the Maxima Duofold, and you can see here the beautiful Harrow nib number 50. It is quite big. It is a large pen. So this is the Parker. It writes wonderfully as a Parker pen writes. Parker Maxima Duofold in Burgundy. I would call it maybe a fine gold nib with Parker Quink black. Yes, one of my favorite inks ever. Can have a little line variation, not much, but the flow is good, the feedback is very pleasant, so great pen. It is a large one. Let me put here the Pilot Silvern. It has roughly of the same size, maybe a little longer. And from England we'll go to Japan, to a small pen, a Sailor pocket pen. I like this one a lot. It has this exposed nib, strange one, but it is nice. You can see there, 14 karat gold nib, very nice, from Sailor, and written there and also on the nib. So this is the Sailor pocket pen. It has a fine gold nib, and this is Japanese fine, so you can really see that. And inside it has Parker Quink black, and it has a little bit of line variation. And it writes well, with lots of feedback, because it is a Sailor pen, and Sailor pens have a lot of feedback. It is a cartridge pen as the others, so the Pilot Silvern also is, but I didn't show that, sorry. The Parker Maxima Duofold is an aerometric filling pen. Let's close it. And let's keep this going. I'm running a little bit out of space on my memory card, so I'm having some trouble with this. I need to find a better solution to record my videos. We'll stay in Japan, and we'll go from a pocket pen to a large pen, also a Sailor, and this is an amazing one. This is the Sailor King of Pen. This is a joy to write with this pen. It is one of the best pens I have. Profit Dark Champagne with a medium nib, medium gold nib, 21 karat gold nib. It is a beautiful, beautiful pen, and a beautiful large size nib with Mont Blanc, Daniel Defoe, which I'm running out, and can see you can have lots of line variation, and I'm not even a big fan of line variation, but I love playing with this pen. It is transparent, green, amazing. You have the review of this one on the channel if you want to check. This one is reviewed. And now from Japan we'll go back to the United States, and in the United States we have this little Schon design in copper, so the second copper pen of today. It is the Schon design Pocket 6 in copper. Oh, it has a little bit of fiber from the background on the nib, so it made that mess there. This one has a fine steel nib, a Jowo number 6 nib, which is nice for a pocket pen, and the ink it has is the same as before I showed on the Gravitas. It is the Montblanc, not Montblanc, just Montblanc, William Shakespeare. It looks a little bit different because the other one is a medium nib, this one is a fine nib. This pen is really nice. I love to cap and uncap the pen. Again, another cartridge pen. So most of the pens I'm showing you today are cartridge or converter pens. We are almost reaching the end, and the next pen is from Italy, and it is this beautiful Montegrappa. And Montegrappa is coming out with lots of pens of this Mia collection, and I cannot afford them. I have two, this one and Meteor Shower, but now there is also the Everglades, there is the something that I can't remember, Passion, I think. There is one of the Ocean something, and there is the Spice Explosion, which is beautiful. So I can't have them all. But this is a beautiful pen. I really would like to be able to collect this range because it's really nice. So this is the Montegrappa Mia Cityscape for Corsani, the online store, or the physical store, but also online, Italian store, with a fine steel nib, and inside it has Leonardo Officina Italiana purple, which is quite a nice purple. You even get some sheen with this ink, but you'll not see it with this fine nib. This has this nib by Montegrappa with this scroll work, which is kind of nice. Also a cartridge converter pen. And then we go to France for the Waterman Exception, which is a big pen, and it has that strange thing of having a squared section, and it has this different effect on the facets. So this is the Waterman Exception. Sometimes it skips because sometimes I don't know how to hold it properly, and this is called Night and Day. And I bought this pen because I found it interesting, but it doesn't really even improve my handwriting because I tend to rotate it and I don't know how to hold it correctly. It has it is a cartridge pen also, but the ink is all up here and doesn't go down, and I think it is almost empty, that's why it is skipping. So with Leonardo Officina Italiana, this one Taurasi Vino. This one can also provide some line variation, and it is a nice pen with this nice Waterman Ideal gold nib with no breather hole, but it's running out of ink, and that some skips it had were because of the ink is running out. Maybe this one will get some rest now after it is empty. Maybe I'll take it to work tomorrow just to finish the few drops of ink it still has. Now, let's go for the final 5 pens, but I will not show you writing samples of all 5. The next one is this Waterman Culture, also from France. Green pen, plastic pen, like a school pen, which is nice. I showed it on the last Friday night pen thoughts video. I like it. My parents gave it to me. So this is the Waterman. I may have said Culture, but it's not. It's a Reflex. Culture is the other one. It's the transparent. Marbled green with a fine steel nib, as you can see there, with no breather hole also. And this fine steel nib has Visconti green inside. It is quite similar to the Kaweco Palm Green, maybe a little lighter and not a lot of line variation. And it's more on the dry side, but it's really a nice writer and simple plastic pens. I like when some brands, maybe it's more in the past, I liked that some pens, some brands that have expensive pens also took some time to make pens for students which were cheap and quite good. The next pen is this beautiful thing, the Santini Libra. Amazing pen. Santini Libra olive with a fine gold nib, and the ink is KWZ Oscar, which is an exclusive for Fontoplumo. It has some bounce, not much of line variation, because I didn't choose a flex nib, although they have some flexi nibbed pens. They have their nibs made at home, in-house, so they make their own nibs. And this one is a white gold nib. I just made a review very recently, so you can check it. The pen writes smoothly with the right amount of feedback. It's just perfect. I had this pen when I bought it. I bought it with a nib, gold nib that was rhodium plated, and then I had some problems with the plating coming off. So it may have been the plating, it may have been this ink with the plating, I'm not sure. I asked them for some help and they were very quickly in replying and fixing all things. They said, send me the nib, you just unscrew the nib unit, and we'll send you back a new nib to replace. And do you prefer to have a white gold nib? And I said yes, although the white gold nib is not really completely silver colored, as you can see. It still has some golden tones, but it is a very nice nib, and this will not have any problems of the coating flaking off, because it has no coating, it's just a simple nib. It is the color of the metal like this. However, I assembled these, and you can see when I filled it, some ink went there, which means that some ink is between, I'm not sure if I can show it to you, between the nib assembly color and the section itself. So some ink escaped there. So when the pen is empty again, I will just clean it and I will put some silicone grease around the nib unit, and I will put it down there, and it will prevent some ink to go between the collar where the nib and feet are, and to avoid this kind of, it looks like a stain, but it's not, it's just ink there. I need to do that. I don't need to, I could live with this, but I will fix it, not in a hurry. When the pen is empty, I will take care of it. But just look at how this pen looks. Santini is really an interesting brand. And I have 3 more pens with which I am writing, but I'm not showing you writing samples. and I will explain you why. I have this one that has inside I don't really remember exactly, but I think it's, just let me test here away from you. Okay, not sure anymore, but I think it is. So, sorry about that. This pen, now I need to clean the nib, so I can't give you any tip on that. So you can see this pen, it is beautiful Graf on Faber-Castell Intuition Terra. It has a gold, fine gold nib, and this is beautiful pen without a section there. It is a cartridge pen. From these later pens that I showed you, only the Santini is a piston filler, and this is a very nice pen, cartridge pen. And I cannot show you the writing sample because I'm now working on reviewing the inks from the Diamine Inkvent calendar, and inside this pen, if I'm not mistaken, we have the ink for day number 1 of the Inkvent calendar, and I'm not showing it to you. And don't think that I'm doing a color match, not that. It may or not be. It's just what I feel like I want to put inside each pen. So this has no writing sample to avoid spoilers. Another pen that has some ink inside is this Cara's Fountain K. This is a nice pen that I got in a giveaway. It has a Bock nib, a broad Bock nib, and inside is the ink for day number 3 of the Inkvent calendar, and it is a cartridge pen. And finally, the other pen I'm using is this funny short little thing, which is the Platinum Glamour, so Japanese pens. So these last 3 pens we have Germany, United States and Japan. It has this stubby nib that is medium nib, which is stubby in shape, not the tip. It is so fun. This pen is so fun. It looks like a cartoon pen, cartridge pen also, and it also has a sample of a little bit of ink number 3 of the Inkvent calendar. So I'm working on them. So while I do other videos, there are some pens with those inks, because I will show you those videos only in December, if I have the time to record them until that date, but I will show them there. I will not do any spoilers meanwhile. So these were my pens for October, 28 pens, and I showed you here 25 writing samples because the last 3 I cannot show them to you. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's coming very late in the month. Very soon I will be recording the pens from October, but that's life. I hope you can understand that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will meet you again soon in some other video. Bye!